Have you ever wondered what the Euphrates River has been hiding for centuries? Furthermore, did you know that a terrible prophecy is associated with it, one that could mark the beginning of the end? All of this will be revealed in this video, along with disturbing images of the 4 angels imprisoned beneath its waters. But before we proceed, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. And don't go anywhere, because I guarantee that after watching this video, your understanding of prophecies will change forever. Today, many followers of Christianity are researching the Euphrates River on Google due to strange discoveries made by locals along its banks. These discoveries are related to a popular prophecy within Christian beliefs dating back over 2,000 years. According to the Bible, this prophecy predicts that the Euphrates River, the largest and longest river in Asia, will completely dry up. And this will have terrible consequences. The specific biblical passage mentioning the Euphrates River is found in the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 12, which says, "The 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east." The countries of Mesopotamia, located on the Asian continent, are home to the Euphrates River. Many Christians around the world highlight this prophecy for various reasons. First, the river's location in the east is significant according to the interpretation of the prophecy. Additionally, the countries in the region have resources that could potentially form a large army, as mentioned in another passage from Revelation, chapter 9, verses 16 to 18, which speaks of an army of 200 million soldiers that will march through the Euphrates. Before showing the allegedly recorded terrifying scenes at the Euphrates River, it is important to understand what makes it so special. According to Christianity, the Euphrates River is situated in an area where several significant biblical events occurred. According to scriptures, the river was a border with the Garden of Eden, where the waters flowed through the place that God created to be the initial home of Adam and Eve, as well as all the animals. Furthermore, the Bible shows that the Euphrates River was chosen by God as one of the boundaries of the promised land to the descendants of Abraham. Genesis 15:18. It was also in this region that Nimrod founded the religion of Babylon, and where the Tower of Babel was built as a challenge to God. These biblical events attribute great spiritual and historical importance to the Euphrates River, making it a point of interest for many Christians and Bible scholars. As recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 9, when the Euphrates River dries up, a terrifying army of over 200 million soldiers will begin to march from the east. What makes this even more intriguing is the fact that when the Apostle John wrote these words, there weren't even 200 million people inhabiting the planet as a whole. This adds an extra layer of mystery and terror to the prophecy. But the intensity of the prophecy doesn't stop there. The Bible also mentions that 4 angels will be released for a specific date, determined by hour, day, month, and year, with the mission to kill 1/3 of the male population. This terrifying description adds an element of cosmic horror to the prophecy, causing many to reflect on its implications and seek a better understanding of its meaning and timing. The combination of these catastrophic events makes the prophecy of the Euphrates River a topic of great interest and concern for many. See what the Bible says. "And the 4 angels who had been kept ready for this very hour and day and month and year were released to kill 1/3 of mankind." Revelation 9:15. The Euphrates appears in the Bible in several places. In Genesis 2:14, it was described as one of the rivers that bounded the Garden of Eden. In Genesis 15:18, the river was mentioned as one of the borders of the land that God gave to the descendants of Abraham. What is most striking is the fact that Jeremiah prophesied its drying up. Jeremiah 50:38-39. There are reports suggesting that the scenes I will show here may be related to these 4 imprisoned angels. However, we cannot be absolutely sure of this. What the Bible states is that when the Euphrates River completely dries up, these four fallen angels will be released to lead a vast army capable of causing the destruction of a third of the population. This prophecy is terrifying, especially when we consider the context of all the other judgments mentioned in Revelation. If we add this number to the impact of all the other described events, it would mean that more than half of the world's population would be destroyed. With an average of 8 billion inhabitants on the planet today, this would imply that 4 billion people would disappear overnight. This grim perspective highlights the urgency of reflecting on the meaning of these prophecies and how we can spiritually prepare for the events to come. Now, you may be wondering who these angels are and where they came from. For some Bible scholars, these are the same fallen angels mentioned in Jude, chapter 1 of the New Testament. According to them, these angels came into the world because they found the daughters of men attractive and, from then on, had relationships with these women, which ultimately resulted in the creation of hybrid beings, the Nephilim. After that, when God realized what had happened, he became very angry and brought a flood upon the earth. But what happened to these angels? Well, according to scriptures, God imprisoned them in places of complete darkness until the judgment of that great day, Jude 1:6. Before we continue to explore this terrifying and fascinating prophecy, let me know in the comments if you have heard of the Euphrates River and its relevance to Christianity. And don't forget to leave your like so we can bring more content like this. Your interaction is very important to us. Now that we understand the prophecies related to this river, let's understand why so many people are researching it. The Mesopotamia region, where the Euphrates River is located, is facing severe drought currently. According to the Ministry of Water Resources, Iraq has faced one of the biggest water crises this year since 1930. Due to these constant droughts, local authorities estimate that on average, 1,200 families have abandoned the southern regions of Iraq, where agricultural activity is more prevalent. With this, thousands of families have been affected, as many depended on animal husbandry, one of the only forms of subsistence in the region. In one of these dry areas of the Euphrates River, an extremely curious and even frightening video was recorded, which has been circulating on social media. The video was captured by archaeologists and researchers who had been working at the site for some time. In it, terrifying roars can be heard, similar to those of a lion, but with a tone of distress and monstrosity. Additionally, a sound resembling the dragging of chains can be heard, as if someone is trapped. These strange and unexplained events have intrigued and worried many people, further fueling interest and research into the Euphrates River. Although we do not know for sure if this video is real or not, it still causes much fear. Another curiosity is that the decrease in water volume in the Tigris and Euphrates rivers has brought many benefits to the archaeological community. This reduction allowed the discovery of new archaeological sites never seen before, such as the one built in the early 1970s. And holds over even 1,000 years of history. This site is located in the far north of Iraq. Additionally, this drought revealed an ancient city in the Mosul region. All this happened because the reservoir of the Mosul Dam went through an extremely dry period. It is this dam that contains the waters of the Tigris, one of the largest rivers in Iraq. Let's now talk about the newly discovered city of Zajiko, located in northern Mesopotamia. According to researchers, this city may have even been mentioned in ancient Babylonian texts. In this city, large fortifications, walls of molten metals made of bricks, and even evidence of residential buildings were found. Archaeologists also discovered a palace with 3,400 years. According to these researchers, this construction belonged to the Mitanni Empire, which dominated parts of Syria, Iraq, and Turkey. After all this information, it becomes evident why so many people are discussing the Euphrates River and its prophecies. The coincidences and connections between historical events, biblical scriptures, and contemporary events are truly intriguing. The video circulating on the internet, captured by archaeologists and researchers in the dry region of the river, adds an element of mystery and even terror to the narrative. The sound of distressing roars and the dragging of chains leaves anyone chilled and raises questions about what is really happening on the banks of the Euphrates. It is an experience that challenges our understanding of the world and leads us to reflect on the deeper meaning of these events in light of ancient prophecies. But now, the video ends here. Let me know in the comments what you think about this ancient prophecy and about the mysterious video that shocked the internet. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss new content like this. Hugs, and until next time, God bless.